Alright, down here in my branch mine, we can go ahead and get started. So you can see, this runs pretty fast, has really great lifetime, probably better than anything else we've got. And man, there's just so much entropy shards around here, right? But now here's the real gem. We go ahead and boot this up. It burns through power so fast, so we're going to need to be careful with it, but we can see that, for example, there's the corridor, and there's something up there. So let's turn it off and see if we can get up there. We're going to have to use it very sparingly. But it seemed to think that there was a thing here. It might just have been that dirt, too. It can be tricky to read. Ah, no, look. We found a bunch of redstone. Perfect. And of course, now with our diamond level hardness drill, we can get the coveted, the precious obsidian. Which will mean that we'll actually be able to do lots of things we've been working on before that need extremely high level hardness tools. Because now, it's not exciting work, but we can actually harvest the obsidian. Well, I have been hard at work in between the cuts there because, well, I mean, the thing I'm running into right now is that that setup I have, the electrical setup, just keeps exploding unless I sit around and watch it. And it's no good if just sitting around and watching it is what I have to do. What's the point of an automated system that you have to just sit around and watch? Although, please do forgive me, I'm taking a moment to step outside in the evening and do a few gardening tasks. This is kind of what I have to do right now, is just run outside at night and do things like chopping down trees and whatnot because it is so difficult to get these materials otherwise. I'm probably going to have to automate this aspect of things very soon, which is fine, I think. But we also need to start thinking about what we read in the next segment of the book, something specifically about dosing ourselves with sunlight. And I have a theory, and I think I have the materials now to actually test that. So we're going to be working on that next. But the very first thing we also need to do, even before that, as I promised, is improve the situation of our mining by hand. That just has to be done because we need more resources. Specifically, we need more diamonds. And also, I just can't spend all my time. I'm very worried that Paprika's is going to come back and I'm going to have this dump of a ruin. So we need to start getting enough resources that we can improve our ruin and everything. So that's definitely very high on my list of things to do. But of course, we need to keep having a good supply of trees around here. So I'm making sort of an artificial little forest just around here. In general, it's good to do. And oh, are you really serious? You have no idea what you're messing with. Do you have a sword for me? Whoa! Whew. Fortunately, we're strong. So yes. Guys, I'm really busy right now, okay? I really would appreciate it if you would just leave me alone. There, I just want to put that there. Look, I'm leaving now. You see, I'm not even sticking around. I'm going to jump over here and climb up these vines. So what I really need to figure out is what I want to do with this ruin. I could restore the castle itself, or I could begin to build a new structure entirely. Both seem to have merit to me. You see, I found a kind of a way in, and then it's no problem. We also need to start getting livestock, because while they're not particularly delicious per se anymore, they are useful. I've also had multiple instances of what I think perhaps enterprising treasure hunters, thinking this is an abandoned ruin, have snuck in here and caused mischief. And so, especially now that we have this system down here, which I'll explain to you what I did in just a sec, we do want to be a little bit careful about, all of our possessions, and we probably want to take some time to, hide things at the very least to improve the situation. So, let me just show you what I did before we get started on the next segment of the mining tricks. The first thing that we did, was I doubled the amount of power we've output, added more passive thermal dissipators, because the greater the difference between here and here, the more power these can extract. And they're not particularly efficient, to be honest. In fact, they're really inefficient. Like 33% power loss is a good number to be aiming for. So I also added this active thermal dissipator, which will take heat from this group and then spin it off. So if we're not running under super heavy load, it's good. Let me go ahead and grab my tools here. I actually made a portable battery pack, which is just 3 batteries put together to help, because this X-ray scanner eats so much power. We do sort of want to be cognizant of that. And also the mining drill, it works without any power, but it's good. So I went down mining, and I've got a ton of stuff, as you can see here, a fair number of things, and I'm making more silicon as we go. So this is how it works. This blue cable here, which is just a dyed signal cable, regulates the control of these things. As you can see, they're turned off and both of them have combustion chambers, which means in total, this system can produce about 1.5 kilowatts of power. So that's a fair amount. This macerator doesn't even use close to that much. And you can see, by the way, we're basically running out of power. Or gross out of voltage. The voltage is bleeding off of the system, and we've lost temperature in our furnace, which, by the way, looks really cool. This machine inventory manager is just a Steve's Factory thing. It just takes things from here and puts them in here, and then takes things from here when they're done and puts them over in here, which is, you know, not bad. As you can see, we've got a fair sum of iron. Now, this is the magic. So this here basically goes between 0 and 57.50 volts, and it watches for that, and it sets out a number. 1 is 57.50 volts, and 0 is 0 volts. That goes over in here, into the blue lit thing. Then this power signal here from this switch goes into red. We then sit here and do some math. I'm not going to bore you too much, but basically the gist of it is that this system here will, when A is on, then it will try to hover between about the top 10% of power output. This means that if too much voltage gets into the system, it gets cut off. That's really important to stop these things from blowing up, because they keep blowing up. You keep blowing up. I've counted. I have 17 explosions. I've had to replace these turbines twice. Usually the explosions are fairly benign, but it's no good. We definitely don't want that. So let's go ahead, and we've got plenty of fuel in these, and they burn pretty hot, and the system has cooled down substantially. So let's go ahead and click that on. Now, gradually, this system will start to come back online, and you can see that it's now maxing them out because there's a very low amount of voltage in this system. Oh, not that one. But now you can see that it's basically going to start bringing us up around 50 volts and then just hovering there. We have more than enough power to drive both these machines and this active cooling system, which helps for efficiency. So basically, we're going to start going through here. This system will gradually heat up, but you can see that it sort of like is already about as fast as a furnace, and once it gets to optimal temperature, it will start to go faster than a regular furnace. We're using an iron coil for that, which has 375 watts. This machine, the macerator, this one likes to use around 200 watts. So our average load is around 500 watts, which actually just one of these could do. So, you know, we're in a pretty good space. We use 2 because that reduces the total load, which means we get a little bit more efficiency out of these turbines. Now, I've come to realize that this is a really inefficient mechanism. It wastes a lot of fuel. Fortunately, this world is not poor of coal. So this system works, and it means that if I leave unattended, then I can cut it off with this emergency switch. But if I leave it unattended, then the system will gradually throttle itself and not blow up, and nothing runs away out of control. It wasn't that expensive, but it was fairly time-consuming to get these numbers and these numbers right. And I'm sure that if there's someone, you know, who has some suggestions, I would greatly appreciate them. But you can see we also got a machine booster to make this thing go slightly faster and be a little bit more efficient. So we're using the 300 there, and we're using 400 here. So we're actually using 700 watts in total, which is more than we ought to be able to. That's why we have multiple turbines, because we want to be able to power all of that. In total, we can generate about a kilowatt of power from this system. That's why I put the boosters in. But they do kind of tear through coal, so you have to be a little bit careful. So yeah, you know, it's but it's good because now, you know, we're basically automatically processing things. I don't have to sit around and go hop, 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 hop. That's just no good. That's not what, you know. We're gonna get rid of you. We're gonna put you in a box and not look at you again. Just get up there. I don't even want to look at you. Ugh. Okay. The next part of it is we're going to need something to assist us in actually mining. I think we can do that before we turn to the decor, because we should have enough. Oh, by the way, we should have enough coffee now. I believe I'm making coffee. I'm even making Camellia tea as a hedge in case maybe she doesn't like my coffee and she wants some tea instead. I don't know. I'll see what I can do on that when she comes calling. I don't know when it's going to be, too. I hope it's at night, because otherwise it's going to be really awkward if she wants me to step outside. I'm like, no, you know that I can't, and she'll yell at me. I know. So, yeah, let's get to the next part. Now let's hop down to the workshop while the hateful sun is above us, and put down this. This is the plan. We are going to make a mining cart. I have done this in the distant past, but I haven't done this in a long time. So actually, I'm sort of looking forward to it. This is basically a cart assembler. It's a robotic and automatic system that can help us put together what we need here. So this is basically our plan here is to assemble a device which can help us with manual branch mining. So it's going to continue to make a main shaft while we use our sensors and tools and other things to sort of watch the existing system. And by the way, look at this go! It's going so fast. It's actually really fun to watch now. And it's pretty amazing, actually, how fast this can tear through ore. All right, so let's not get distracted by how awesome it is. Well, this system needs a drill, it needs engines, and it needs a railer so it can lay down its own rails, because I certainly would not be appreciative of laying down rails for this cart. And then it needs a ton of storage, and I think that's probably really all it needs. We could get fancier with it, but for now we'll be around to sort of protect it and shepherd it. So we could put a bridge builder, but that's about it, I think. So let me see what we can do. So let's go ahead and look at what we can get here. So we're going to need an engine. And that is pretty straightforward. We can be looking at something like a tiny coal engine, which is really inexpensive, or we could even get something maybe a little bit bigger, like an actual coal engine, which is itself still really inexpensive. Why don't we go ahead and do that really fast? Let's just go ahead and plank most of this. A coal engine should be straightforward. Let's toss that in. Now, it does take some time for the integrated systems here that I put together to actually create stuff. But we'll be fine with just a coal engine. Now, the drill, I think, is the most important part. We don't have a ton of diamonds, and I'm not sure I want to waste them on a very expensive drill. There's all sorts of drills we could go for. I think that probably this is the most basic drill is this one. Or the most standard drill is this one, which costs 3 diamonds. But I don't really want to spend my diamonds there just yet. So we're going to use the iron drill, which is not as good by a long shot, but will at least allow us to make some progress while we improve our diamond situation. Because it's definitely not easy, right? Let's go ahead and toss that in. There we go. Oh, look at how cool that looks. That's just the best. So then we're going to need a railer. And I am a little bit excited about this, because I don't get to do this very often. We're going to be working with train tracks, and I have kind of an affinity for trains. I sort of feel like it might be, like they're sort of, I don't know, they're appropriate for what we are now. Just there's something elegant about a train, something that's always been elegant. So let's go ahead and toss down a little bit more of these, because we're actually going to need a fair number of these, so let's just make a bunch of these right now. And let's make a railer for ourselves. Toss that in there. So far, we're doing well on the total cost of this. We're doing excellently. So next thing we're going to need is probably a bridge builder, so that if we do come across something, it's not going to be too bad. Ooh, we need clay for that. Is it nighttime? No, it's dawn. We can come back and reassemble that. So let's put that on hold for a minute. Let's see. What else do we need? We need storage. So we need a whole bunch of chests. I think that it would be best for us to make some top chests and some side chests. And these are a little bit of a pain to make. So we'll go ahead and then maybe do top, side, and an internal one. So let me just make those, because I should have enough wood on me to actually do that. We'll just have to clear this all out, and let's get to it. Alright, well, I think I've got everything I put together that we're going to put on this. Now, I did spend a single diamond on liquid sensors. Otherwise, they're inexpensive. We've got a railer, a bridge builder. I went out and I dug a little bit of clay up. And we've got a fair amount of storage. So what we should do now is give this system a little bit of fuel, and then ask it to assemble. And that should just take a little while. It's going to take about 20 minutes. So we'll probably have to come back to this in a bit. Hopefully we'll see the fruits of it. It won't take too long, though. I mean, like, 20 minutes is 20 minutes. It's not that bad. In the meantime, though, we can grab some of this stuff. That's right. Now, I definitely want to be a little bit cautious here. Oh, by the way, could you cook these up for me? Thank you. This system is going slow. I got to figure out how to make this system go faster, because it's a little bit frustrating that this is so much faster than that. It means we waste power. Anyways, not to get too distracted, let's grab a flint from up here, and we're going to go check out the Nether. Of course, we're going to, clear our inventory first. Before I do go, though, it does occur to me that I should perhaps be prudent and bring some weapons to protect ourselves. So why don't we just grab this, We should also bring a little bit of wood. You just never know when some wood will come in handy. So let's just grab a little bit of that. And let's grab a little bit of that, yeah. None of it. And then we'll go like this. And I'm thinking that maybe what we want to try making is one of these boomerangs. They look pretty neat to me. I haven't really ever used one before, so let's grab one of those. And that'll be like perhaps a ranged weapon, so let's see how that looks. Let's go... Oh, wow. Oh, that's pretty cool. Holy crap, look at that. That's amazing. I wonder if that actually hurts things. Oh, it actually comes back if you miss. Oh, that's perfect. All right, we should also make something to, directly hit things. We could use katanas, but I feel like maybe what we want to do is go for some heavier hits. The katana's great when things are weak, but our strength might actually lend itself to using an axe, like a battle axe here. So let's go ahead and get this set up. I think we should have enough sticks to make it work. Yes, we do. So let's go like this. There we go. Battle axe. Yeah. Now, that should be good. Let's see what an imposing figure we cut now. Let's just get rid of these things. And then... So we got our fire resist helmet and our chainmail on, and oh, look at that. That's some serious business right there. And, whoop-oh! Watch out. Okay, alright, enough dawdling. Let's go to the Nether. We have enough to make a new thing. We have a bunch of digging materials. We have some spare tools. Hopefully we can find some worthwhile things here. Whoa! Holy... Well, this is a challenge. Okay. Okay. We need to be pretty careful, because this is quite a scary place to start. And there's fire everywhere. People who think that this wouldn't be a dangerous place for us, they are wrong. It looks to me like this is a shared portal. Like there was already a portal here, and in fact, someone's cut stairs. Oh no. Oh no, please. Fortunately, we didn't lose anything that was expensive. But let me just grab another stack of cobblestone, and then we should be good. And I was sort of hoping to put off going back into that horrible place, full of fire and death, but we're not done here yet. I had to put in more fuel, so another charged up, another drill. Fortunately, they're actually really cheap. Surprisingly, actually, this is not expensive at all, although I did have to burn another diamond, which is really, really bad. But it's worth it. It's definitely a renewable tool is worth it. So we have one diamond left. Maybe we'll get lucky. Man, that's dangerous. Man, that is dangerous. Okay, now let's be cautious here, and maybe drill up in here so that we don't get surprised by things around this ledge. Just saying, it would be probably safer to do it this way. And we could put out these hateful fires as we go. Fortunately, this drill is pretty good. Alright, soul sand, one of the first things that we're looking for here. Netherrack is actually pretty good too for a couple of different things. Okay, now let's watch carefully and see if we can find what got us last time, because that was really horrible. It was not the best. So now I guess oh, whoa. This is an Undertaker. Interesting. I don't know what any of these things are, but none of it really looks all that useful to me, to be honest. And then over here, an Undertaker. But Nether Wart seems great, and I could really use the coal. Excuse me, warded zombie pigman. I could actually use the sand, too. It's tedious. More nether wart. I don't know what these are from, but I guess maybe I'm stealing people's stuff. Let's make a bridge here. Oh, please don't die. Fortunately, fire doesn't completely destroy our blood the way sunlight does. So actually, we regenerate from that pretty fast. It's not the easiest thing to overcome, but it's not the worst by far. Let's go ahead and close that up. Let's close that up. And then we'll go like that. There we go. Whoa! No! Well, at least we have a good shot of where our gravestone is this time. Aha! Got him. You got a problem, buddy. You're toast. Ahaha! He teleported himself into the wall. I would have liked to have gotten his loot, but just getting him out of here is best. The nice part about our body is that it's just unbelievably durable, and so it allows us to do things like trap enemies inside edges like that. Okay, Let's see if we can go recover our second set of loot, because I am not terribly excited. Great. Alright, let's see. Can we break this by hand? We can't. I think that this we can break by hand, though. Let's go ahead and make a cradle for our possessions so they don't fall out over the lava sea. What a place. What a terrible place this is. This is really one of the most ferocious nethers. Yes, yes, I know, Skeleton. You are my avatar. Fantastic. Gonna have to be a bit careful about that. There we go. Whoa. There appears to be some sort of hunter down there. Or something. I don't know. It's got a big crossbow, though. That is not what we want to run into right now. The last thing we need while we're restoring our gear is more of that. Let me just go grab this. Hello, Pigman. I really appreciate your compliance with this. I mean, quite frankly, you are the best monsters here. And I hope that we can have a beneficial relationship. You are my demonic friends. Does anyone want to be like an Igor for me? Like, you can come in and you can be my Igor, and that'll be great, I think, for all parties. Let's get this stuff back on, just to reduce the amount of hunger that we burn through. Alright. Okay. Boomerang out. So. Really? Oh, okay. This is fine. This is fine. We can handle that. We'll have to get back home, but there's more stuff up there, I guess. There's definitely more up there. Well, I mean, so far it's good. We've gotten a bunch of stuff that we need. So what we really need is this quartz, 'cause I think this is the key to improving our lot as a vampire and being less limited by our affliction. So let me go ahead and get that sorted out. Now I've got to make my way back up there if I want any chance of getting home too. That's tricky. Hopefully the ores here aren't too volatile. Some places in the Nether the ores are unbelievably volatile, and that is really not the best.